Hey everyone, so I'm back with another special effects tutorial. It is Halloween, well, it's coming around the corner at least, and I learned about a product while I was in makeup school at Cosmic School of Makeup Artistry, and it's a really awesome product. It's called Third Degree. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you haven't, it looks like this, and there are parts A and B, and what's really important about when you're mixing this is to not contaminate part A to part B, because once you do, your product is ruined and you pretty much can't work with it anymore. So it's really important to be clean when you're working with Third Degree. All you have to do is spray it with alcohol. If you're using, I highly recommend a spatula while you're using this. So let's say you take part A, put it on your palette, then you want to go to part B, take some alcohol on your spatula, spray it down, wipe it, and then dip it into part B because you don't want to cross-contaminate. That's pretty much the most important thing when you're working with it. Also, you don't have that much working time with it. I mean, obviously it's not going to solidify in 1 second, but you do want to keep in mind the time thing. You don't want to mix up too much that you can't handle all of it, or else it's just going to dry up and you're not going to be able to use it anymore. That being said, it is liquidy in the beginning. You kind of have to play with it to get it to like a malleable sort of state before it starts to set. And it's basically like, what I can compare it to, it's like you can mold it like you would a nose and scar wax, but you can, but it's almost like gelatin where it's kind of gooky like that. So it's really awesome for making, you can do cuts and minor injuries, anything to like kind of replicate the skin. Now, it does have like a sort of color to it, but it should match your skin tone. If it doesn't, what you'd want to do is take some castor oil with your foundation or something like that, or you can take a rubber grease mask paint and use that. So otherwise it really should match your skin tone. And so I'm going to show you guys a cut and a quick bullet hole of how to use this stuff. And yeah. Okay, so here I have my palette, and I'm going to take my spatula with part A. You really don't need too much product because whatever you're taking out of part A, you're going to be doubling it with part B. So it's going to be equal parts A and equal parts B. I'm going to take parts B. Equal amounts. Now this is where you kind of have to start playing with it and mixing it. It kind of looks like petroleum jelly once it's mixed on your pan. So I'm going to do a cut right here, and I'm just going to take my spatula and make a line like that. Okay, now what you want to do that just kind of looks like blobs right now. So get some alcohol, spray it on your finger, and smooth those lines out so that it looks like it's coming out of your skin. And just blobs there. Make sure your alcohol is 99%. So the easiest way to set this faster is to take some powder. So I'm going to take Ben Nye's Neutral Set Powder and put a little bit of that on my palette. And with a ripped sponge, I'm going to tap it really gently. You don't want to destroy your work that you just did. Okay, so now that that's all done, it looks like my skin's ripped open except there's no blood or anything of that sort. So, for coloring, I'm going to take my Skin Illustrator palette. This is just the starter kit. So, and now you want like variations of color. You don't want the whole thing to be all red. You don't want it to be black or anything like that. So I'm gonna start out with a little bit of this black and some of these reds here. I'm gonna take this skinny brush here and I'm gonna start out with black. And I'm just gonna color where I want the deepest part to be. So I'm probably gonna make that the deepest part of it. And then go in with those reds there. Now, obviously, it's gonna be really agitated around the cut. So I'm gonna take this Duo Fiber brush. This is my designated special effects brush. And I'm going to go around it with a little bit of red. Not too opaque, obviously, because you don't want that to be too red. Alright, so now that that's all colored, I'm just going to go in with some thick blood first. So, some thick blood. Now I'm going to take some of the real blood with water. I don't want to dilute it though too much. I just want it to be kind of icky. Now if you want the blood to go in a certain trail, what you can do is put some dish soap on a Q-tip or something like that, and you can run it along the lines that you'd like it to go, and it'll actually follow that line with the blood. So that's pretty much how you'd use 3rd degree to make a wound.